Welcome back to the Farming Sims channel. I'm on East Vineland, New Jersey for the Supply Chain Crisis Challenge. It is early on the 1st of March, meaning we have gotten through winter. We've moved into spring. We have had some rain this morning, and that stopped me from getting out and doing a lot of an early start. I do like to be around for the month changeover, and in particular the season changeover as well, but typically a monthly changeover. I like to be online at midnight when it switches over. I usually go and get some work done basically straight away, especially if it's work on our own fields. And then the contracts will start flowing in. Usually first wave is around about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. You'll get first contracts come in. So basically that's what I did this morning after midnight. I went and did some grass work. I did some mowing. And then a few contracts came in for fertilizing because it is spring. Um, Everything's been planted, but or most things have been planted. There are a few fields left open for next month when there's a couple of crops that go in a little bit late. Corn, sorghum, and soybeans, I believe, are the three that go a little bit later. The rain has just finished, which is why I decided I should do a record. I should do my winter update. I think last time I did a winter update, it was sort of probably at the start of winter. Not really sure. But this time I thought I would wait until after winter. There's not much work that gets done in winter. As you can imagine, there's no field work to do. There's no contracts. It's basically look after the animals and sell, sell, sell all your products which are coming into high prices. This is the crop calendar for spring, March. Everything gets seeded, and the AI, as in many maps, as far as I believe, a lot of the seeding gets done automatically by the AI, and that's the case here as well. So we don't get any of those contracts. It just basically populates the map with all of the fields after midnight. And this is what our map looks like this year. Some of the wheat and barley was already planted, along with some of the canola from last summer. End of last summer, you can plant those three crops. But more has been planted of those three along with the others. Straight away, I noticed there's a lot of cotton for the township to do. And what I tend to do is sort of just quickly have a look at what's available on the map, so I can see maybe how much we might get from harvesting contracts later on in the year. If there are crops that are really lacking in number, for example, straight away I can see sunflowers again is very low. On the other hand, sugar beets is everywhere. Yep, there's a whole heap of sugar beets there. So we were planning on planting a lot of sugar beets this year, but with that much in, we may just plant our bottom field here, 109. And I was thinking of planting this field here, which we had sunflowers in last year. Maybe planting this with the sugar demand now that we've got chocolate in production is much higher. So that's a good one. And we were thinking about buying this one last year, but with all of the sugar beets that were on the map, we also had 111 and 113 as sugar beets. So just from the contracts from those three fields was huge, which is why we didn't buy 118. But I would say again this year, I'm not sure that we would need to buy maybe a little one over in the corner over here or something just for a little bit extra. But I wouldn't imagine I'll switch them off now. Potatoes, not a lot, but key here is I've been waiting for a decent crop to go in this field. Typically, it has been sunflowers again. I think it was the first year. Can't remember what I had in last year. I think wheat. Um, but as a potato field for pigs, potato production, and pig food production, if we could buy that during the year this year before it comes around to harvest time, that would kind of complete our farm area of fields. But we weren't planning on planting potatoes. We were planning on possibly buying a potato field, and that's a huge field too, by the way. It's got a decent size to it. It's expensive too, actually. $573,000. Anyone? Um, yeah, that's $573,000. That's an expensive field. They're all expensive though. I shouldn't point that field out. Every single field on this map is expensive. I would say it's probably one of the most. It's the highest land value map that I've ever played on. We spend millions on land and we don't own all that much. So yeah. Soybeans will not be ready yet, along with sorghum. There's no point in having them on or off at the moment. Makes no difference. Sunflowers, a little bit. The two little ones in the middle there, not worth speaking of. So there's basically 3 fields. I think last year we had 2 or 3 fields as well. But all we used our sunflowers for last year was a little bit of sunflower oil. We're not using them to feed the pigs if we're doing a pig feed mixture. And I think we'll continue with the pig feed mixture later on in the year, possibly. We've got so much pig food at the moment that we're pretty well stocked. Oats, it's almost like the game knows I'm going to plant oats everywhere. There's one field in the middle, field 43, right dead center. That's it. But the amount of oats we planted last year was quite a bit, and there was quite a few oats fields on the map. I think the map has worked out that Sims has his favorite combination of fields on this crop calendar, and that is I can first cut grass now in March. I can then plant oats, cut the oats in June, and then plant corn in June. That's late corn, and harvest that in November, replanting the winter cover crop of grass so that you get a cut off it the next spring. It's a very valuable 3-crop season. Half cut of grass, oats, and corn. With the oats, you also get your straw harvest as well. So it gives us our straw for our TMR and our bedding. So it almost knows that I'm going to. I'm sure the map almost knows that I'm going to do that this year, and basically on most of our fields, that's what we're going to run this year. And then if we need pig food at the end of the year, what we'll do is we'll pick up a couple of fields along the way. The potato field, sorghum, barley, and soybeans. I won't know about the soybeans and the sorghum until next month. But in repopulating the map, well, I don't need to repopulate the map. If I look at cultivated fields, they're the fields that haven't been planted yet. You can see our grass fields that are ready. They're ready to harvest. And you can also see the grass that I cut this morning, and they are the purple harvested fields. I've already cut that grass, and there's field 1 at the top as well. But yeah, the light blue cultivated fields have not been planted yet. So basically, that's what we've got for those 3 crops available next month. It's not a lot, to be honest. But there's quite a few small fields there. So picking up a small sorghum field, or maybe a big sorghum field, a barley field, and a small soybeans field, that might be in our grasp. Um, I do have a couple more fields left to grass cut. One here, which may well end up being sugar beets. Possibly could put some sugar beets into this small field here behind this house. Um, and our main field, which has always run that combination since we bought it of grass, oats, and corn. So that's the map. Um, a lot of fields, obviously, that haven't been fertilized. The ones that are purple are our mulched fields. But the ones I just cut, they need to be mulched now, so they're not going to show up. So I can turn mulch fields off actually. Um, so you can see there's a little bit of weed on the ground. So all the fields with weeds on them, they're either not planted yet because they're carrying some weeds over in an uncultivated field or a cultivated field. But most of them are wheat and barley and canola that were planted last year. And I can kind of see that some of them already gone to second stage weeds. They better start giving us some weeds contracts this month. Otherwise, those fields then carry some serious penalties over into the harvest, and we won't get the harvest. But typically, they do give us the weed contract, so that's kind of good. But a lot of fertilizing to do, as you can see. There's a ton of fertilizing, and we should get first stage on just about the entire map, short a few fields. So there should be a lot of money to be made from fertilizing contracts this month and next. Um, that should pretty much do the map, the crop calendar, the weather. The rain has just stopped. We're carrying over straight from snow yesterday. So the temperature is still pretty low. It's -4. They reckon it's meant to be 11 though. It's off a little bit, the temperature forecast. It was about -8 at midnight last night. It's slowly been dropping, but you can see it's not going to be 11 degrees next hour. Um, but it is sunny. We will get a lot of rain though through March, typically, and we'll get showers probably each day. Um, let's quickly look at the finance. I won't linger here too long, okay? But typically, there's some livestock that was being bought, and livestock recently, sold animals has been quite high because I've been selling the adults. The new livestock was the run of cows that we've been buying. Vehicle running costs came down quite low during winter. Wasn't a lot of work to be done. And then we started selling. We sold a lot of product in November. We got a great demand on flour, and we got rid of a lot of excess flour in November. We also got rid of all of our silage bales at the top there in December. About 250 silage bales on the map that we had collected throughout the year from our end of year grass cuts and from contracts during the year. We basically held them all. Anything we didn't make TMR or give to the sheep, we sold the lot knowing that we'll get grass in spring. So huge profit there. January was, what did we sell in January? We sold canola oil. In November, we sold sunflower oil in February. So some of that 88,000 was sunflower oil. January, that was the donuts. That was 100 pallets of donuts. Our donut factory ran since we put it in, like almost all year, I think, because once we got our sugar last year, at the end of last year, we basically ran sugar, flour, and eggs into the donut factory, and that ran all year. And I think we sold a little bit in January, February last year because we'd only just got it. So yeah, a year's worth of donuts, $200,000. We also had some harvest income. Those two big numbers there, that's us selling fertilizer, lime, and seed to neighboring towns. We are self-sufficient on all of them, and you can imagine with 350 pigs and 150 cows, yeah, our manure and slurry production has been ramped up a little. And so we did have a contract over winter to supply those items to neighbouring towns. We hadn't had any of those sort of sales up until this point, but we did have a $1.7 million loan which we took out in August from the new bank of East Vineland. And the bank had closed down at the beginning of the supply chain crisis. A lot of businesses went bankrupt, and there were no loans. But they've opened back up for business this year. They took the risk, gave us a $1.7 million loan, which we put the cows in, bought a couple of blocks, a small block of land, and we also bought some upgraded machinery. It was nice that we got the loan. We could do all of that before we earned the money. The interest was about $5,000 a month, which you can see has slowly gone down there. I'd also like to point out that this is a no workers game. We don't use workers for anything. Every now and then you'll see $1 or $2 in that column where someone has accidentally hit the button. There is a minus 43 there. Typically what I do is if I've purchased a new field, which I did in November, and it's got some messy edges to it, what I'll do is I will allow create fields. I'll give myself a straight line down an edge, and typically I get the worker to hold that straight line. I just find it so simple that I don't have to, A, I don't have to try and have a perfect line, or B, I don't have to go back and try and tidy it up. So while it is a no workers map where we don't ever use workers, I accidentally hit the circle button, and I didn't realize until it got to the end of the row. I'm really sorry about that, but I did do a row with a worker. I think that covers everything there. Oh, 25,000 in December. We sold some product, and I had moved over into the township account to check on it. I didn't realize I was still in it, and I sold some goods. It went to the township. The township loves us. We brought the town back to life again. We gave them everything we could to get them back up and running when we started this game, and they were more than happy to give us our $25,000 back. No threats required. They just handed it over. So that's why you see a miscellaneous there of 25,000. In summary, we've had 4 amazing months, basically. November's usually quiet, but we had a really good month there. A few harvests there, and we sold some goods. But through winter, we sold all of our products at top dollar. We are carrying a couple of products over. We are carrying chocolate, which we've had in production since our milk started coming in. Our sugar and oil factory has stopped, but we have corn oil. We have 60,000 in storage, plus what's sitting on the ground. Probably 80,000, something like that. I think they're 2,000 litre pallets on this map, and there's probably about 15 pallets there, maybe about 30. We could have like about 90,000 corn oil. We're sitting good with diesel. Like I said, we sold our excess seed, but we do have some in our auger and a few crates that we store it in. Our slurry's been running some fertilizer production, as you can see. So we've got enough for the year there. French fries and, oh, this is our pig food mix here. Potatoes, sorghum, barley, and soybeans. We have some lime. Like, we did sell a little bit of lime, but we've got almost 50,000 litres for the year. We'll be good there for the year as well. Flour production has ceased, but we're going to put oats in to get flour back up and running. We do have a little bit left over, but we sold all of that. Forage is good. We've got 200,000 litres sitting in the Silo King, and our cows are doing well. Some manure as well running through. Our wool is left to sell. We're going to have clothes to sell in a couple of months in May, I believe, along with the oil. The corn oil and the clothes probably in May, I think it is. And that's sitting on the ground as well. So we've probably got, probably the same again, probably about 20,000 litres sitting on the ground and 14 there at $10,000. $10,000 no, it's not $10,000 for clothes, is it? We're playing hard mode. We're playing hard economy. Let me just double check that. I'll check the oil price as well. So what we're sitting on is corn oil. Top price is 2,668 in May. Close was back up here. There's the chocolate there. Top price is 21.87 in May. And close was the other one. No, it was right. 10,431 for close in hard economy. I think there are our three main products that we're carrying over for May. Close is April, so that's next month. And the township has clothes and furniture, and their furniture will be ready in June at 22.16. That's a valuable commodity as well. I mean, that one actually you can sell almost all year round, because the difference between the bottom price and the top price is $400, $350. So even to sell it at $17.88 is still that's a good product. Our animals. Well, we started with chickens. They're just cruising along. Pigs are good. Pigs are very good. They are prolific breeders. Every 4 months they spit out piglets. They do make a decent amount of slurry and manure, and they've got good resale value if you hold on to them for a while. If you hold on to them sort of for a medium amount of time, 500-700 is good, but they can get all the way up to about $1,100 for your older pigs. That's 22 months. I wanted to see what the value of one set of pigs was over 24 months, a 2-year period, and we're basically there. In 2 months' time, we'll sell after they have their piglets, and I know that might be about 1,300, I think. Our new cow barn is doing great. We put 25 in each month. We were going to stop at 125, but we threw an extra set in this over winter. Mainly because we wanted extra milk, and these guys are, this youngest group, they are not going to have calves for another 10 months after they're adults. So one more month, no, not one more month. They need to be 18 months. So 3 more months there until they are ready to breed. And then 10 after that. So it's 13 months. We're not going to go past another year. Let's put it that way. When we get to the end of this year, I think we will have achieved all of our goals, all of the challenge goals, and we thought we would need a while to pay off that 1.7. We knew we had until August to pay it. But sheep are producing more wool than what we need to keep the clothing factory running. So we've got a slight excess. So it's always going up a little at the moment, but it depends on what I'm selling. If I'm holding on to all the youngsters like I am at the moment, and right now, and been selling the older sheep, I notice that the wool production goes down when I'm carrying more lambs. And then when I'm selling all of the lambs and holding on to the older sheep, then I make more wool production. So just it changes a little bit. I think it's about to go down slightly under what we really want, but it's kind of there all the time. Same with the chickens too, by the way. They're always a little bit more than what the donut factory can handle. So that's 500 chickens. Works really well with the donut factory. The egg production is slightly higher. Contracts, we did have some fertilizing contracts. I can tell you how much we had actually. 22,147 already this morning. There's about 5 of them, I think, 5 or 6 contracts. Really quick, knocking off fertilizing contracts. Yeah, so we've already made a few dollars this morning, and I've already cut some grass. Yeah, that pretty much covers everything. I'll just let you know that these are our seed boxes here. So we've got like 5,000 seed in each of those and 5,000 in the auger. Little bit in the seed is probably full as well. Probably don't have my options on here to see. Let me turn that on. Like magic. No, it's almost empty. 1871. I think it holds about 5,000 litres. Lime spreader. Fertilizer spreader was already out and running this morning. What I did want to show you was how much pig food we have. I think I might have shown you this when we made it all a couple of months ago. 125,000 on the right, and the hopper bin on the left has 87. That's 100, 210, 212,000 litres. 212,000 litres in these two. This one's full and ready to empty out. And this one was the one that we're dropping the pallets into, which was coming out of our potato production here. As you can see, earlier this morning I was out mowing, which I will continue to do now. Sun's about to come up. I might go and grab a cup of coffee, and then I'll come back, and I think this is the last grass. And it says ready to harvest because it is, but it's not full growth. It's only half growth. So we don't get as much of it off this field as you would expect by a half growth, but it's been looked after really well. So the yield is still pretty good. And what we're going to do is oats and corn in that field. I forgot to mention we have this off-season canola. Well, it's really on-season canola. It's summer to summer. And it will be ready in a few months' time, actually. I think it's just after, yeah, it's after the corn goes in. Corn goes in June, and that canola will be ready in August. Yeah, it's first, no, that's not right. Yeah, I think this canola is ready the same time as oats is. Yeah, it is. So when we take the oats off the field and plant the corn, that canola should come off the ground, I think. If it does in that first month, and it should come off in the first month, we might plant corn here as well instead of replanting the canola. Might be a good play. I mean, if it comes, if it's not until the next month, then I don't know what we'll do with it. But yeah, canola or even corn or even soybeans after this is harvested. But I basically have to make the year plan today on the 1st of March. I really do have to plan out what's on the map available to us, what we need, and what we'll plant in our own fields this month, or if we're planting next month, then I cut those fields next month. So I'm going to plant the the sugar beets next month. So I'll take the full cut of grass now off the, I'll take the full cut of grass next month in April. and then plant the sugar beets, because they're not going to be ready until November. And you're not going to get any sort of cut of grass off them at the end of the year. We will get a chance to plant our winter cover crop of grass, which we cut next month. So that sugar beet cycle is just slightly off from everything else. That's nice too. It breaks the amount of workload up, especially seeing there's only a few of us on the server now. Oh, I'm going to get to work. No, I'm going to grab a coffee. I'm going to grab a coffee. Just let me check the contracts before I walk away. Yep, no contracts. And at 6:30, sun will be coming up in a minute. Thanks very much for watching. This has been the Year 3 Winter Update. Sorry there was no farming work to be done in this one, but it was really just to show you where we're at and where we're heading. And we're heading into good space, actually, because we've almost got that loan paid off. And almost challenge complete. We're pretty close, actually. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.